Honor Club, where honor is real.
You people are so easy. So easy. Really? And who do you suppose is going to do that? You? Were you people expecting somebody else? Is the greatest man that ever lived not good enough for you? You know, I would have thought 5 years ago, the last time we were in Buffalo, we would have learned our lesson.
Look at this, he's not even waiting. Hey, you gotta make sure you get the jump on somebody as talented as Kenny Omega. I'll give it to him. He's one of the best wrestlers in Ring of Honor. And that's probably why Austin Aries isn't giving him a fair chance right here.
That's because A-Double was also smart. He's intelligent. That's
All
how
right,
he's a two-time
we get
champion.
it. How many times do I have to hear it? He's smart, he's clever, he's intelligent. Yeah. You know what? I'll give you this. I think Austin Aries is one of the greatest wrestlers we've ever had in Ring of Honor.
Without a doubt.
I'll put him up there with Punk, Joe, and Danielson. I think he's really that good. But he's also one of the biggest jerks, so I'm glad to see him get drilled into the guardrail right there by Kenny Omega.
You call him a jerk, I call him a role model. He's the type of person that I can look up to.
What are you, Rhett?
No, Brett knows what's up.
I don't think he even knows where he is. Now Kenny Omega puts the boots on Austin Aries. The tide has turned here, and now we're in the area where Kenny Omega is going to have a little more fan following, I think, than Austin Aries could possibly hope for. Kenny Omega from Canada, we're in the Canadian Niagara region here in Hamburg, the Buffalo area. He's definitely got a lot of fans here, as you can see.
Omega can look to the fans all he wants, Eric. The fans aren't the ones that got to get the job done.
And I think the fans would know better than to cheat in Ring of Honor, where it's supposed to be about honor and respect, but obviously Austin Aries isn't above resorting to underhanded tactics.
I haven't seen him cheat yet.
He's running now.
Of course he's running. He's tiring out Omega.
Oh, sure.
You probably think he's running scared.
And now a big monkey flip by Kenny Omega takes over Austin Aries, and a big dropkick follow-up.
I'm sure Omega's just looking to get some revenge after he lost the ROH World title match back at the Omega fight.
Yep. Last time these two were one-on-one. It was for the ROH World title. That's not in the picture now, and of course either of them would like to get back in the title hunt, the title scene, but they've got some unfinished business here. They've had many matchups against each other, and Kenny Omega has had a lot of pinfall victories over Austin Aries. Unfortunately, not when it counted, when it was for the title one-on-one.
See, and I actually beg to differ about the title contention thing. This is a Ring of Honor officials, specifically Jim Cornette, just poking at Aries. Aries has stated he wants to focus on managing. He wants to focus on Brett Titus and Kenny King and bringing them to title glory. But Ring of Honor officials keep putting Aries in the ring. They keep making him wrestle when that's not what he wants right now.
Well, his men that you mentioned, Kenny King and Brett Titus, the All Night Express, will be taking on the Briscoes next. But right now, he's got to concentrate on Kenny Omega because Kenny Omega's taking it to him right here.
Yeah, well, let's see if Kenny can get the job done this time. I, for one, don't think he can.
Swinging body slam by Kenny Omega takes Austin Aries down. Weird as he might be, and he is, he's also a very good wrestler.
I think that little interview spot before the match showed how strange Kenny can be.
Quite. Maybe he picked it up in Japan. Pinfall attempt by Kenny Omega. Not successful. Austin Aries back into the corner.
I gotta say this for Kenny. His tour of Japan, specifically the Super Juniors tournament, was extremely successful.
A lot of invaluable experience gained in Japan, but now he's back here in Ring of Honor, back in North America. Unfortunately, he's doing a lot of tours for Japan, and that's great for his wrestling, great for his experience, but Ring of Honor fans would love to see him compete more here in Ring of Honor, see him up close and in person. And now he's blocking a suplex attempt, perhaps a brainbuster by Austin Aries.
Yeah, it's never too early to go for the big move.
Certainly not. picks him up. Reversal. Ooh, look at that strength by Kenny Omega. Very impressive. Austin Aries almost fighting out of that suplex. Kenny Omega powering out of it. Unfortunately, not enough for a pinfall at the moment.
Kenny Omega, I'd say, seems to be focusing on the back of Aries. He's doing a lot of damage to it.
Knife edge chop. And, oh, look at that. Poke in the eye.
Hey, there was dust. It was a fly. He was trying to swat a fly.
Now he's raking his eyes on the ropes. Is that another dust cleaning technique, Shane?
I think it's hair dye. He was got in his eye, some of the hair dye, and Aries was trying to help him clean it out. All right,
you got nothing.
I got nothing with that one.
Well, Austin Aries has Delirious tomorrow night at Death Before Dishonor. Another guy that has a big score, a much bigger score to settle than Kenny Omega.
It was an accident.
There is no accident with Austin Aries.
That was an accident. That kick just happened. Aries was aiming for the head, and he accidentally got him in. Oh, wow. Wow. That was some power by Omega catching him there.
And turning it into a pinfall. Very impressive counter by Kenny Omega. But like I was saying, there are no accidents with Austin Aries, and I'm not even talking specifically about the throat injury to Delirious. What about all the times he's attacked Daisy Hayes? Many times.
Hey,
you don't put your hands on a woman like that.
Hey, if she steps inside those ropes, you never know what's going to happen.
It wasn't in a match. It wasn't a sort of a competitive thing. It was obvious attack and underhanded and very lowly by Austin Aries, which is probably why you're defending him.
Hey, she's a competitor. She's a wrestler. She can take it.
Tilt-a-whirl by Kenny Omega into a backbreaker. Goes for a pin.
Only a one. Aries has still got a lot of fight.
And now he puts him in almost a rear naked choke. Camel clutch.
Like I said.
Oh, look at this. He's biting him now. Eyes biting. What else is he going to do? Flips him over into a pinfall.
It's just Aries' wrestling acumen right there. There's a reason he's
biting?
Yes.
Where is there biting in wrestling?
Hey, he was a two-time champion.
Yeah, but not by biting.
Only two-time champion.
Not by biting. He did it with 450 splashes and last chanceries. Power bomb.
And he did it with moves like that. Ow!
Ooh, look at those knees.
Beautiful transition right into the knees.
Kenny blocking that. Going for the horns of Aries. Obviously, Kenny had that scouted, blocking those knees to set him up. And now he's put on the top rope.
Well, for as many times as these two have been in the ring with each other over the past year, I would say they know each other pretty well.
Austin Aries to the top now, goes for a top rope Frankensteiner, and Kenny holds on. Aries falls right on his head.
Again, Omega had that one scouted.
Omega with a frog crossbody.
Just the two.
Kenny Omega getting back up to his feet.
You have to do a lot more than just that crossbody to put away old A double.
Yeah, but the finish can come at any time. It could be a pinfall, submission. It could come out anywhere. So it does make sense for them to keep going for those pinfalls, wouldn't you say, the wrestlers here in Ring of Honor?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You never know what's going to get the victory for you, but I don't know. It takes a lot to put away someone like A double.
Kenny follows up with a big back elbow. Snapmares Aries down. Goes for a pinfall. Not enough.
I will say this, Omega does keep going for the victory.
You got it, especially with a two-time champion like Austin Aries. Also, one of the longest reigning ROH World Tag Team Champions, if not the longest, correct?
I think the Briscoes got a couple days on him and Roddy, but yeah, they're one of the standard bearers of the tag team division, actually.
Which, of course, you've got your hands deeply in at the moment.
Well, they might have set the table, but it's the Wolves and the Kings who are really
gonna eat the dinner, to finish your analogy.
Yes, thank you.
Now Austin Aries gets his head put into the turnbuckles by Kenny Omega in the corner, but holding on to the ropes. Can't do that for long.
I'm very surprised how much of this match Omega has dominated.
Whoa, wait. He just had a handful of tights there. We've seen biting, eye gouging, handful of tights, attacking before the bell. this is what makes me so angry about Austin Aries. He's super talented. He's really good. He doesn't have to resort to this sort of stuff. Kind of like your guy Chris Hero.
Hey, Aries does it because he can. He proved when he beat Omega in the title match, and when he beat Davey the night before, admittedly, that he is a superb wrestler. But he's going to do it the way he wants to do it. Whatever tactics, whatever means.
But let's call it the way it was. Kenny Omega hurt his back on a plancha against Aries last time. That was probably the determining factor in how that match went. If he can stay 100% in this match, at least not suffer an injury like that back injury, he's got a much better chance against Austin Aries. It's almost like he took himself out of that last match.
Well, he's certainly been in control for most of this match.
Irish whips, Austin Aries abound.
More on that back of Aries.
Aries flips over onto the other side, and Kenny Omega follows up with a kick, sends Aries to the outside.
He might have broken his nose on the apron right there.
And just as I mentioned, a plancha hurting Kenny Omega last time, it looks like he's going to take another risk this time. Perhaps it will pay off. Runs across, over to the outside, goes for a moonsault. Aries pulls him down.
It might be Omega with a broken nose now.
Yeah.
It's okay, he's not that pretty anyway.
I don't want to know who you think is pretty on this roster.
Me, I'm pretty.
Is that what your mom tells you?
What your mom told me. Ba-boom.
There you
Aries
go.
with the dive.
Whoa!
Heat-seeking missile.
As much as I dislike Austin Aries, that is a beautiful move, and it impresses no matter how many times you see it. It's precise. It's got a lot of precision.
And look at that, right on the top rope, pointing up. Yeah.
Aries Austin. I mean Austin Aries.
I got it.
Rolls Kenny Omega back inside the ring. Goes, look at this, foot on the ropes. Just like Eddie Edwards did earlier tonight, I might add.
Didn't happen. Show me the videotape.
People do have pause buttons and rewind buttons here, you know that.
Technology's overrated.
Well, the wrestling machine, Austin Aries, you said it yourself, technology's overrated. Got nothing to say, huh? Goes for a clothesline in the corner. Bulldog.
Ooh!
Wow! Horns of Aries right in the center.
See, that's the Aries that I was talking about earlier. That's the Aries that you wanted to see, right?
Exactly. Look at that. Was a beautiful set of combinations and transitions right there. And now he could be transitioning to a brainbuster. Yep, looks like he's going for it.
I think so. Omega is going. Ooh, knee to the head.
On the way down, if he didn't hit that knee, he would have been dropped right on his head.
And Omega is out on his feet.
Stop. Picks him up big. Uranagi bends him in half.
More damage to the back of a double.
Judo throw, and now Aries gets the shoulder up.
God, Aries is going to be pretty beat up going into this match tomorrow with Delirious, huh?
Yeah. If Delirious has his way, he's going to be beat up even more. But it looks like he's going for Croyt's Wrath. Aries drops down, picks him up, shin breaker, and drops him on his head. More of those combinations I was talking about. Now he's in the corner. We all know what Aries does when the opponent's in the corner. Blows a kiss, goes for an IED, and walks right into a boot on the way up. Knocked out in midair.
It's that those explosive combinations have really become a staple of pro wrestling here in Ring of Honor. Saw it from Roderick earlier with the boot, backbreaker combinations, and Aries there.
Wait. Omega looked like he was going for a dragon suplex. Aries elbows out of it. Off the ropes. Gorilla pressed by Kenny Omega. Lots of strength by this guy.
Ooh.
Drops him down.
Is he going to shake the ropes next?
Ooh, warrior jokes. Very awesome.
Going for the
Flips up. Face buster.
And Aries with his shoulders off the canvas.
Kenny Omega getting a little frustrated, but he says no more. What's he going to do? Croyt's Wrath? Looks
or
like
that
he's
dragon suplex, maybe.
He does have a handful of tights, but picks up Aries for Croyt's Wrath.
There's a fight out of it. There you go.
Looked like an eye rake to me again.
Bad camera angle, couldn't tell.
Throws Kenny Omega to the outside.
Aries going up top now. Didn't work out for Omega, and didn't seem to be working out for Aries either.
Yeah, Kenny Omega caught Aries, stops him.
Oh no.
Wait a minute.
Oh no.
I thought he was just going to pick him
No
up from
way.
the canvas, but he gets up to the second ropes.
There you go. See, there's Aries' wrestling IQ right there. He saw it coming.
Well,
And a back raker on his way down. Ooh! Throws him right on top of his head.
that was a nasty fall. Aries definitely did not want to get hit with Kreutz Wrath from
Gonna
the
see a drop
second
kick.
rope. IED once again caught. Fireman's carry.
Like we said earlier, these two know each other very well.
Ooh, Kreutz Wrath! He hits it! Oh!
See, that's a foot on the ropes. Earlier, that wasn't a foot on the ropes. That's a foot on the ropes.
Well,
You're gonna say that's illegal too?
no, except this time it was to break the pin, not to get the pin.
That's Aries' great ring sense. He knew exactly where he was.
Kreutz Wrath, very impressive. The electric chair pushed off into the German suplex, caught on the way down.
It's a lot of leg strength. Someone up with that.
Kenny Omega has a lot of strength. I mean, we were talking about how strong Claudio was. Kenny Omega might give him a run for his money, but now Aries looks like he's going for a Death Valley driver on the apron. Omega drops down.
What? He's choking him on the rope, ref.
He's going for a suplex onto the inside. Aries reverses it. Handful of tights and hair. Tries sending him into the corner. Omega puts the brakes on.
Oh! Yeah. Separated shoulder.
Uh-oh.
Another one?
That's bad news for Aries. This could be it. Kreutz Wrath, second time. Oh! Turns him over.
2, 3.
That's the end.
Honor Nation, we heard you. Fantastic matches from Ring of Honor's 2010 archive are now exclusively on Honor Club. Relive history such as Tyler Black's championship run, Kevin Steen versus El Generico, the rise of Kenny Omega, the Kings of Wrestling versus the Briscoes, Roderick Strong, Christopher Daniels, Colt Cabana, and more. Sign up today at ROHHonorClub.com as we continue to add historic events from 2002 to 2010.